So they're putting all kinds of graffitis around me, and it seems they're targeting me with hate. Also, I go to a church in Nigeria. Me and my mother used to go to a church in Nigeria called Synagogue. My mother was killed by daughters in America, Bologna and Flora. So it has a Jewish connotation to the name, Synagogue Church, and the police, after I took the NYPD to court in 2014, a Russian spy plane said it saw an American bomber plane leave German air base and went and blew up that Nigerian church, killing many Africans. So I normally charge my phone here, and I've been having some black Americans harass me, bump into me here, and somebody just left this graffiti. And there's also a black American religion called Black Jews, in which they believe Africans and Israel are like lower than them, and that they're the real Jews. I don't know what this graffiti is about, but I'm being mocked, I'm being set up for extortion, and they try to, even my mother's daughter, Flora, would tell me, you're not a, I told her I'm a transsexual now, and she told me you always be a male to her. I said, because I was born a male. And I've been getting misgendered, and they've been having women bump into me, and I believe there's a sex cult trying to take advantage of me. They believe I could be killed, and they're trying to rope me into the sex cult and make it look like, the sex cult, it's all about producing children, and I'm a co-parent of all these children. So they're trying to make it look like me being a transgender is just a joke. So they're committing all kinds of extortion, and they believe they can rob me as a foreigner and kill me, since my mother's daughters killed her for insurance fraud. My mother's daughters were jealous because after the police took her home on Staten Island, I took the police to court, and my mother said her daughters they were in Pennsylvania, Bologna, and Florida. So they were monitoring the case, and they were very jealous that I was going to make money, and my mother was going to make money, and they killed her in the insurance fraud scheme. Fed mental illness on her, and she tried to escape that. My mother said her daughter Bolale was poisoning her in Pittsburgh. So my mother was suffering a heart attack in Pittsburgh, and she got on the bus to escape to New York. And she said she was having symptoms of a heart attack, and she got on the bus to escape to New York. Because anytime she goes to stay with her daughter in Pittsburgh, Bolale said as soon as the daughter gave her food, she started feeling symptoms of a heart attack, like the daughter was poisoning her. And I've since found out that there's a poison called antifreeze that gives people instantaneous heart attack. So my mother fled to New York to save her own life, in May 2015. And the daughter was able to locate her in a hospital here in New York and told the hospital to lock her up in the psych ward as my mother was starting to feel better. They were antagonizing my mother, and they saw my mother was starting to feel better, getting healthier, in the hospital. So my mother doesn't speak American English. Her daughters were born in America, but unfortunately they speak American English. So they use their U.S. citizenship to influence the hospital Bellevue to lock my mother up as a crazy foreigner, even though my mother passed the mental health test. So my mother appealed to the U.S. Justice Department before she was killed to help us because the police took her home wrongfully. And the U.S. Justice Department refused to help us, and Aragon decided to help us with the court papers, and the police wanted to kill Aragon immediately. I'm also under the surveillance program because when my mother brought me here with a green card in 2000, they locked me up in the JFK, from JFK Airport, locked me up in the immigration prison at Waukena Detention Center in Queens, New York. Say children are not welcome here, which is against international law. I was still under 21, so I'm considered a child under the American law, federal law. And under international law, you can't separate a mother from a child. So they've been doing all kinds of stuff. Killed my friend Aragona with the police after I promised to help me with the court papers. So now there's an extortion gang that's trying to ridicule me, and they believe, since my mother is dead, my father is also dead. So they believe nobody will stand up for me because my mother's daughters, they are compromised. They killed my mother for insurance fraud money. So they believe this extortion gang. I don't know if, what influence they have on my mother's daughters, Bonnie and Flora. But they mock me, they try to misgender me, refer to me as a male, and I tell them I'm a female. And they just mock my gender. So I believe, and they have females bump into me regularly. So I believe their plan is to kill me and rope me into some sex court and say the sex court, I agree to father all their kids, and they hope to make money for life off of getting me killed, and because I've been planning a lawsuit against the immigration for arresting me in 2000 wrongfully, and the NYPD for taking my home, and the Bellevue Hospital for killing my mother. So they believe there's enough money for them to live on. So this place not set to host the World Cup. Criminal gangs are running this place. So I don't know why they put this hate graffiti here talking about Israel kills children. I used to go to a Nigerian church called Synagogue, and they said the pastor there was a monster allegedly that was killing people for ritual, it would kill children and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe they're attacking me for my religion, but be member of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. And I said that the U.S. sent a bomber plane, the Russia spy plane. So they saw a bomber plane. As soon as I stood there, weapon in 2014, they said a bomber plane left German air base, a U.S. bomber plane, and went to Nigeria and blew up the church. And a lot of white South Africans and Africans worshiping that church was killed. Even if the pastor is a Satanist, they said it was killing people in his church and using them for rituals to get power. I believe it's not right to just bomb his church and kill many of his worshippers. They could have found a way to arrest him and try him. He had Americans in his church also, but apparently the white Americans in his church didn't die. Only the white South Africans died in his church. You know. So I don't know what it's about, but it's a hate gang, an extortion gang, and I believe they've been trying to kill me and use me for money, exploitation. Because they said whenever there's a lawsuit, money, that fuels a lot of crime. There was a case in Harlem last year. They say a construction worker fell down on the job and sued his employer and got $100,000. And he went to the bank to cash the money, put the money in a garbage bag. And as soon as he got to his house in Harlem, he was opening the door. They say a guy pulled over in a scooter and shoot him dead and took the money, $100,000. So they said whenever you have a lawsuit situation, criminal gangs rise up. It's like a black American gang, and some of them ride really expensive cars. So there's this guy that plays in the NBA. His name is Lillard. Damian Lillard. I was jumped in very close to this place on Atlantic Avenue near the Brooklyn Nets Stadium. Some black American kids were kicking me with their feet, kicking me in daytime. And I ran into a store. The store owner called 911. The police refused to take a police report. And the store owner was barefoot. Like he said, he saw them chase me into his store and they were holding a metal pipe and they were about to lynch me to death. And the police said they don't want to make a report out of it. They told him to keep quiet. I saw the police blinking at him to not to ask for a report. And I said I want a report, so the police said no. So I believe these police believe they can kill me, lynch me with a black American gang, acting as the main lynch, and the police will cover up. And I believe there's some genocidal brutality against me as an African because they've noticed that some black Americans don't like Africans because they say Africans sold them to slavery. So my mother's been killed. Her daughter's born in America, killed her for money. My mother is from Nigeria, and they are having black American gangs beat me up. My mother's been killed, and this police is just looking on. So America's not set to host the World Cup. And so back to what I was saying. So the black American kids were kicking me with their leg. My mother has a daughter, my Bolale, she said that daughter learns how to be kicking people in school. And so she always likes to kick people. So this Damian Lillard went on Instagram or some social media and was referring to a girl as the Thunder Legs. And I used to use a Thunder VPN. I used to hide under the Thunder VPN to go on social media. I was following his account. And it seems to be saying some suspicious stuff. So after I got kicked by these girls, they were only usually alleged to kick me. And the one that got a metal pipe, to try to lynch it, and I ran into a store. I don't know any of these girls. I don't know what the problem was. And the police was blinking at the store owner. It was a white guy, white American. After I said he wanted police, he helped me call 911. The police. This happened around 2000 and December 2021. After Mayor Adams was elected mayor. Was going to take over in January, but around December 2021. So these guys surrounded me. So I've been suspicious. And somebody was recording the whole attack. like some kind of sadistic, documentary they were carrying out for like their gang or their ritual purposes to try to watch me linked to death. And I was just running across the street. There was it's close to the Athletics Nets Stadium, the Nets basketball team stadium on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn here. I'm near the Macy's now. It's a few blocks away from here. And the cars almost hit me. Cars were swerving all around, and these kids were following me, and the cars almost hit them also. Then this Damon Lillard guy, and I've been so suspicious of why that I was attacked like that. And the only thing that helps me link this stuff is this Damon Lillard guy, and he put in social media account saying I was following his account, either on Instagram or what's it called, Twitter, and he said Thunder Lakes. I used to hide under Thunder VPN because I use public Wi-Fi, and it says it's always good to have a VPN, and he said and it was congratulating the basketball player and called it Thunder Lakes. So I was like, okay, that's not a colloquial or vocabulary people use anywhere in the world. English refer to somebody as Thunder Lake, you know. So it's like it was linking the fact that my mother's daughter Bolani likes to kick people, and with the word thunder and the fact that I was kicked and whatever it was. And I've been seeing, there's a gang that ride luxurious cars and they try to hit me with their car. So I'm a victim of stage gang extortion plot, and they'll be having females. They'll dress provocatively and they'll be bumping into me. I look like a transsexual in real life. And, so I'm wondering, why is this all of a sudden starting? So I believe there's a self-cult out there that believe they can kill me as an African. And I don't know what my mother said my daughter Bolani is part of a gang. I don't know what connection she has with this gang. But I'm being attacked by gang. And the NYPD is looking on. And they say even in prison, the NYPD always allow black Americans to kill each other. They said that the prison guard, the correction department, they say allow the stronger prisoner gangs to beat up the most vulnerable prison inmates in Rikers Island and stuff, allegedly. So, it's a linking of black and black. Another turn into a genocidal thing, wherever black American gangs are encouraged to attack African civilians. So, FIFA this is set to host the World Cup in 2026. I'm a whistleblower. Each time I whistleblow and inform, like CAF, which is the Confederation of African Football, and other play people. I've not really contacted you directly, FIFA, because I really want to be able to document it in a way that's more presentable to you. But I've been informing other organizations like Black Lives Matter that this place doesn't supposed to work out, and they always send people to punch me on the street. So I'm experiencing, violence connected to my making a speech about the World Cup 2026. And in cases like that, where in England they beat up foreigners, the FIFA always ban the British from hosting World Cup matches. So please don't make an exception out of America. There's violence associated with the soccer. As I'm speaking out for the foreign lives, saying that it's not safe to bring the World Cup here, I'm experiencing all kinds of, I don't know, somebody brought more graffiti here, right? Ramos talking about NYPD and stuff. And here is the Israel kills children. I used to be part of a synagogue church in Nigeria. So I don't know if that's the reference they're making that the pastor kills children or whatever. And the American airline an American bomber went and blew up the church, killed so many Africans. There were white Americans in that church, but none of them died. They said they blew up a section of the church that was housing white South Africans and many Africans. So they blew that section up or something like that. And this pastor showed the American, showed a plane on his YouTube page that was surrounding his church and blew it up. And the Russians also said at that time they followed the plane from Europe and Germany air base, the American air base in Germany, to Nigeria to blow up the church. So as a whistleblower for FIFA, for lives all over the world, against this genocidal from the law enforcement, against the genocide from the law enforcement in America that are being protected by the American government. I'm experiencing violence as I'm speaking out about the World Cup in 2026, and the world doesn't even know what is going on. Only the Russian army exposed this, and even a U.S. CIA agent has escaped to Russia, Snowden, and it's been granted asylum in Russia, and it's been saying a lot of horrible stuff that they're FBI is conducting surveillance on foreigners like crazy, and I'm being followed, and they're using Black American gangs to punch me, beat me up. And it's like they're telling them they can go ahead and try to stop me, rope me in a sex cult, and kill me and get money. They're not going to investigate them. So they're giving these rich Black Americans types, backing. They can kill Africans and make money. Because they just want to get rid of as many foreigners as possible. Guantanamo Bay torture, they've now extended to New York City. So this is a real nightmare. The Nigerian government refused to help me. I contacted the Nigerian embassy. The Nigerian church was blown up. I contacted the South African embassy. Many South Africans died. And these countries are afraid to support me. I guess they're afraid of the American firepower. It's only the Russians that's exposed that they saw a American plane going to Nigeria, and the church in Nigeria said they saw that it's only the Russians that said they saw an American bomber plane go to Nigeria, and the church in Nigeria said around that time they saw the plane blow up their church. So this is weird that the cowardice that the Nigerian government and South African government are keeping quiet, and I'm under attack. I'm homeless on the street. I don't get any support. So I'm experiencing, So I don't have any children. I don't hope to have any children. I'm a transsexual for real. I'm not involved with any woman. I'm not trying to create babies. I'm not trying to adopt babies. I don't have any children. And if I should die, I should be cremated. My body parts shouldn't be given to anybody to make children. So much noise. So, I'm a transsexual for real. It's not a joke. I'm not just playing, acting, being a transsexual. I don't have any relationship with any woman. I'm not looking for any child. And even if I'm killed, I don't want my body parts to be used for procreation. My body parts I should be cremated immediately, and my body parts should be used for any procreation activity or for any experiment. And I don't want to be in case because sometimes they try to hit me with cars. In case I'm comatose, I don't want the nitrogen treatment whereby they can put you in liquid nitrogen and just extend your pain and your keeping that comatose state for a longer time. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of the experimentation because they torture me like Guantanamo torture. And the governor, signed a law recently saying she's approved nitrogen treatment for people in coma in New York State. And since then, they've been trying to run me over with cars, and she's been saying she wants homeless people to be attacked on the street and locked up in psych ward. And a lot of the times that the police try to grab you as a homeless to lock you up, they try to kill you. They choked me in 2019 as they were trying to lock me up in the psych ward for being homeless on the street. The videos on Twitter. I'm not crazy, and they had me choked. I couldn't breathe anymore. I was going into coma, and people were screaming and recording it. On July 20, 2019, and the statute of limitation has passed by the 5-year statute of limitation to prosecute these police officers for reckless endangerment, but they can get them for attempted murder. I couldn't breathe anymore. They were trying to put me in coma, and the new governor of Oko, signed a law approving nitrogen treatment experimentation for people in coma in New York State. So I don't want to be used as a for torture. This is genocidal, and the whole one is to investigate this. What Americans are doing to foreign lives. Trying to use us for experiment, and if you're having Black American guns trying to run me over with luxurious cars. And there's this Black American basketball player called Damian Lillard saying, using the word Thunder leg. I hide under Thunder VPN. You can check my Google account. You see, I have a Thunder VPN account. And since disabled that Thunder VPN account, but I used to have a Thunder VPN around that time, which I used to log in on public Wi-Fi, because people say that it's better to log into a VPN on public Wi-Fi because some people put viruses and steal your information. So it's like a genocide going on in New York State. My friend Uganda has been killed, my mother has been killed, and I'm being attacked by gangs as a foreigner, and they don't help me investigate nothing.